Imagine a vast library filled with ancient scrolls, each one a treasure trove of knowledge. These scrolls hold the secrets to life itself, waiting to be discovered and understood. They contain the instructions that make you, unique and special in every way. This is your DNA, the intricate blueprint of your existence, a marvel of nature. Within this blueprint are genes, the individual instructions that shape your traits and characteristics. From the color of your eyes to your height, genes hold the code that defines you. Genotype symbols are like the language of this blueprint, a way to decode the information. They are a shorthand way to represent the vast amount of information stored within your genes. These symbols help scientists understand and predict how traits are passed from one generation to the next, revealing patterns. Think of them as the Rosetta Stone of genetics, unlocking the secrets of heredity and inheritance. Understanding these symbols is like learning the alphabet of life, a fundamental step in genetic literacy. It allows us to decipher the language of genetics and unravel the mysteries of our own existence, one gene at a time. Genes, the basic units of heredity, are like individual chapters in the book of life, each one telling a unique story about who we are and how we function. Each gene has a specific name, often represented by a letter or a combination of letters, which serves as a shorthand for its identity and function. These gene symbols are like signposts, guiding us to specific locations within the vast landscape of DNA, making it easier to navigate and understand. They provide a common language for scientists worldwide to communicate about genes and their functions, ensuring that research and discoveries can be shared and understood universally. For instance, the gene responsible for eye color might be represented by the letter B, a simple yet powerful symbol that carries significant information. This symbol helps scientists track the inheritance of eye color across generations and study the variations that exist within populations, providing insights into genetic diversity. Just as every book has a title, every gene has a name, a unique identifier that distinguishes it from the millions of other genes. These names, represented by symbols, help us organize and understand the vast library of genetic information, making the complex world of genetics more accessible and comprehensible. In the wild, certain traits are more common than others. These prevalent characteristics, often referred to as wild type, are considered the norm. Wild-type alleles, the genetic variants responsible for these traits, are denoted by a plus sign. They represent the standard blueprint for a particular gene. For example, in a population of fruit flies, red eyes might be the wild type. This means that most fruit flies in that population have red eyes. The wild-type allele for red eye color might be represented as R+. Wild-type alleles are like the default settings of a gene, representing the most common version found in nature. Dominant and recessive. A tale of two alleles. Genes can have different versions known as alleles. These alleles, like different flavors of ice cream, offer variations on a theme. Some alleles are dominant, meaning they exert their influence even when paired with a different allele. Others are recessive, their effects masked by the presence of a dominant allele. Dominant alleles are represented by uppercase letters, while recessive alleles are denoted by lowercase letters. For instance, if B represents the dominant allele for brown eyes and B represents the recessive allele for blue eyes, a person with one B allele and one B allele, BB, will have brown eyes. The interplay between dominant and recessive alleles creates the diversity of traits we observe in nature. Genotype notation, writing the genetic code. Genotype notation is like a secret code that reveals the genetic makeup of an individual. It uses symbols to represent the combination of alleles present at a particular gene locus. For example, a person with one brown eye allele B and one blue eye allele B would have the genotype BB. Similarly, a person with two alleles for blue eyes would have the genotype BB. Genotype notation allows scientists to represent the genetic diversity within and between individuals. Cracking the code. Practice makes perfect. Now that you've learned the basics of genotype symbols, let's put your knowledge to the test. It's time to see how well you can apply what you've learned in real-world scenarios. Imagine a plant species where tallness, T, is dominant over shortness, T. This means that the presence of even one T allele will result in a tall plant. What would be the genotype of a homozygous tall plant? The answer is TT. Both alleles are dominant, resulting in a tall plant. What about a heterozygous tall plant? The answer is TT. Here, one dominant allele and one recessive allele still result in a tall plant. And finally, what would be the genotype of a short plant? The answer is TT. Both alleles are recessive, leading to a short plant. Understanding genotype symbols allows us to predict the traits of offspring based on the genotypes of their parents. This predictive power is crucial in fields like agriculture and medicine. By mastering the language of genotype symbols, we gain a deeper understanding of the intricate mechanisms that govern life itself. This knowledge opens doors to new scientific discoveries and innovations. These symbols are the keys to unlocking the secrets of heredity and unraveling the complexities of the genetic code. They are fundamental tools in the quest to understand and manipulate the blueprint of life.
Want to rise to your full potential in your studies and revise like a boss? You can trust Study Guide Today to have you covered. Subscribe to this channel and see our website linked in the description of this video to see revision articles to maximize your study gains.